What do you want me to... What do you mean Oliver can't do it this week? But I can't just... I mean, you know, what am I going to do it about? Do what you know? Oh god, this is going to be horrible. You have no idea how much Oliver Brackenbury loves you. In fact, he loves you so much that even though he was far too busy this weekend to make a video for you, he asked me to make a video for you. That's me, Tom Milsom, and I'm making a video for him and it's for you. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take time out of my valuable wine drinking time that I have every day. I'm taking time out of that to make a video for you. It's going to be on a subject I already know so much about that there's no need for me to do any sort of extraneous research whatsoever, so it's win-win really. That subject is 20th century classical music. 20th century classical music. You would think it would be defined by the fact that it all existed in the 20th century, but you'd be wrong, because oftentimes people actually say that it started just before the 20th century did. A lot of people will say that it started a lot after. It depends on who you ask. Some people will say Debussy was the first progenitor of such movements, because he used all sorts of atonal crazy stuff, but he didn't really invent any chords as much, it's just borrow from other people. And there's not much you can find in Debussy that you couldn't find in stuff from 50 years earlier. A lot of people would say Stravinsky started it because he was the one who wrote The Rite of Spring, which was a ballet that basically caused loads of uproar because I think it was from raping it. I don't know. Whoever you ask, the most interesting figures in this period of history are as such. My favourite period of this time probably is the Second Viennese School, which is people from Vienna and people who wrote serialist music. That is Schoenberg, Berg and Webern. Schoenberg, in the 1920s, early 1920s, late 1910s, started writing music that was based on putting all the semitones in an octave into a different order and then writing it out just as is, without even listening to it or caring how it sounded, which was great. And everybody was like, hey, that's cool, that's new, let's go with that. It was a simpler time. Berg then came along and said, hey, teach me. And so he did, and then Berg wrote some similarly beautiful, wonderful, crazy music. And then along came Webern, and he went off to a cabin for 10 years and wrote some music that was utterly batshit insane, which is all good. Later Webern would eventually emerge from his cabin and be shot by a US soldier who wasn't aware that the war had ended. Congrats, United States. Another thing to add to your tally of things that make you not very good. But don't let that get to you, because along after that came people like Morton Feldman, who was writing awesome things for solo instruments and other things using graphic scores, and it was all crazy and awesome. That's like 1970s. Oh, it's 1950s, I guess. Could be classified as such. I don't know. Anyway, in the 1960s along came people like Berriot and John Cage. We'll ignore John Cage for now, we'll talk about him in a bit. Berriot and Peter Schaeffer, who was in France working with the French Department for Crazy or something, and he was making tapes and cutting tapes up and then stitching them back together again and putting them through playing machines and then going, look what I've done, and everybody went, God, you're some sort of crazy genius. It sounds horrible, congratulations. And that's how he made his money. I don't know. Berriot was the same, and he married an opera singer called Kathy Barberi and wrote some songs, got divorced. Probably killed himself, I don't know, maybe he didn't. He might still be alive. I don't know, I forget these things. It doesn't matter, the biggest figure in this period was John Cage. He died a few years ago, but in that time he created a lot of wonderful, wonderful work, and you should probably go check it out. His most famous piece is 4 minutes 33. I want any discussion in the comments about this piece not being music. Basically, it's just silence for 4 minutes and 33 seconds. The entire orchestra comes in and sits down. Now look, the basic premise of this is that in every performance of music, there's the orchestra playing what they're playing, and then there's people in the background sitting and coughing and shuffling, and there's the aircon, and there's the traffic outside. All these things combine to make the music that you're hearing subtly different. So what he did was he took in an orchestra, and then he took away the orchestra, and then just left the remaining sound. It is a negative of a piece of music. It's stunning, it's amazing, it's ridiculous, and anybody in the comments who says that it isn't music will personally get me coming around to their house and punching their mother in the face. I don't think I need to say any more. Cool, bye, love you.